Twerk that ass, bitch. It's the Working Crass podcast, and we want you to dance it off like it's nobody's business. This is Lauren.
Hello.
And I'm Joshua. Hello. And this is Working Crass podcast with Josh and Lauren. And we're here to talk about the horse shit going on in the world and going on in our lives, because there's a lot.
Yeah.
It stinks.
Yeah, it stinks.
Stinks. It smells like horse shit.
Stinks.
Stinks around here, around these parts lately. And now the big news that everybody's talking about right now, and you just can't get enough of it, is Elon Musk has bought Twitter. He owns it now.
He owns it. He bought it. He did the thing.
He did the thing. He spent his money and he bought the thing. Mm-hmm. He said he was going to do it. Do you know? Can you at least tell me why he's bought Twitter? Do you know?
Well, to protect democracy, that's why.
To protect democracy itself. He's going to save us. He is our savior, Elon Musk. From what I've read,
to save us from the wrath of the god Moloch.
The evil god Moloch. He's our savior. Wow.
That's what Elon Musk is doing. He's saving us from Moloch's wrath, which was prophesied by the Mayans.
Well, thank you very much, Lord Musk. We all bow to you, Lord Musk, in these trying times.
No, what he's trying to do, and what he means by protecting democracy, at least my understanding, is his hope is, one, to to open source the code for Twitter, mm-hmm. so that there's greater transparency in how the algorithm works. And
so instead of just blindly being thrown opinions that we disagree with, or inflammatory statements that we then click on, and the algorithm prioritizing your outrage over just your engagement with the software, it's going to actually show everyone how it's evil. Potentially, although my guess is, even if the code is transparent, I mean, no one cares.
Unless you know how, the intricacies of that kind of coding work, you're probably not going to understand it. So
that's fair.
But the other part, in addition to having that be more transparent, is to allow for more open discourse, meaning opinions that people don't agree with, mm-hmm. are not going to be taken down, mm-hmm. simply because people don't agree with them.
And I did see he said, I hope that people who disagree with me openly voice their opinions on Twitter, because I'm all for free speech, and that's what it's all about.
Right. The point is if we've moved to an era where our public forum is no longer just, the streets, yeah. and that kind of thing, and it's now turning to online spaces as the new public forum, then that too has to be open and fair for all to discuss things, even in a way that might make you feel uncomfortable or you might disagree with.
Right. Right, and so, freedom of speech should apply to the open forum in whatever form it takes.
Exactly. So it's trying to reduce censorship on there, and I know that this has been a big talking point, I think, particularly from the right side of things. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I'm not... I just... look... If Twitter's the new open forum, we're not on Twitter. Are we not in the public space? Are we not? Do we not participate in the public space whatsoever?
I'm agoraphobic. I've never left the house once.
I don't know. I'm all for it. I'm all for freedom of speech. I think it's wrong when you ban people from Twitter. As a matter of fact, to be honest, if you're not banned from Twitter, I kind of think you're a loser. That means in the last 6 or 7 years, you've had absolutely no opinions that go against the grain or against the status quo. That makes you a boring loser.
And that's coming from people who don't have a Twitter.
I don't even have a Twitter. But if you haven't been banned from Twitter, you're a fucking loser. I mean, what? You're not cool. That's so weird. Speaking of cool people, what do cool people like to do? I'd say party, okay? Would you say party? Cool people party.
I don't party.
Well, cool people party is what I'm saying. So anyway, Brian Stelter had some stuff to say about Elon Musk, and we love Brian Stelter around here on our podcast because he creates some good content. It's a good content for us to make a fun of. Mwah. Oh, it's a good spicy meatball.
A chef's kiss. Mwah.
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 And this is really just truly mwah. This is him talking about Elon Musk buying Twitter.
Oh, okay.
And away we go.
Look, who knows? I think that's an example of a broader question for Twitter, which is, if you get invited to something where there are no rules, where there is total freedom for everybody, do you actually want to go to that party, or are you going to decide to stay home? And that's a question for Twitter users. Some Twitter users might love the idea there's going to be absolutely no moderation and no rules at all. Others might not want to be anywhere near that. Am I crazy, Matt?
No, you're right. And what?
And now, best part, normal people, they want to go to a party with rules. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Am I crazy, Matt? Am I crazy? Tell me I'm not crazy. Tell me I'm not crazy.
No, rules at parties is totally cool. And I, in fact, think that we should have more rules.
Yeah, no, I would never go to a party with no rules. That sounds lame.
I think we should make a rule that all parties have to have rules. So there you go.
Do you think, and I bet this is true, people who were really afraid to go out during COVID, really afraid of COVID. Some of us partied through COVID, by the way, just so you know. If you're one of those people who sat around, some of us partied the whole time and it was awesome and we're all still alive and we didn't kill anyone. So, and, no, there's definitely people who just avoided doing anything. Do you think some of the first parties out of COVID had a lot of rules? If you were one of those people throwing it, you're going up to people don't forget to wear your mask. Please wear your mask. There's one guy that's oh, party, cool. And shows up without a mask. Oh, please put your mask on. And no crowding in the kitchen, please. Everything has to be social distance. We want to have a party, but we want to follow some rules. We just want it to be safe for everyone. We want to have fun, but we want it to be safe for everyone.
Before you enter the party, you have to walk through the sanitation chamber. You will be scrubbed. Every orifice will be scrubbed very thoroughly by a very stern Swedish woman.
Look, but look, Brian Stelter's right, okay? People that go to parties with rules are the current people on Twitter right now who haven't been kicked off, okay? That people who don't play by the rules are cool. This is so easy. People who follow the rules, losers. People who break the rules are cool. It's so simple. It's so easy. Yet people don't get it. I don't get it. Why would you want a Twitter with no rules? Because it'd be awesome? Because it'd be sweet? I don't know. Am I wrong?
Not entirely.
Look, some rules are important, don't kill somebody. Okay, I get it. I won't kill anybody. But
don't tweet out videos of yourself killing people. That's
a great rule.
That's a
great rule. That's a great rule. But again, that's a crime. So it's already against the rules. You know?
Yeah.
So it doesn't really, these don't say the current rules of Twitter that Elon Musk is going to get rid of is don't say anything cool, because if you say something cool, you get banned. Everyone knows that. If you say I didn't get vaccinated, which by the way, super cool. That's the coolest thing you could say. I didn't get vaccinated. Awesome. Sweet dude. Sick.
Well, if you're trying to find us on the YouTube, good luck finding this video.
I didn't say, whoa. I didn't say I didn't get vaccinated. I'm saying somebody who wants to say that should have the right to say it because they're cool and not lame, is what I'm saying. Who cares who owns Twitter anyway? Twitter's bad for you. Twitter's so bad for you. Is it not?
No, it is. I think it rots your brain.
This is like
I think it rots your brain, wastes time, makes people angry for no reason.
It's literally the one thing that is killing public discourse.
I honestly feel like all of Twitter is just, it's where all the snitches go.
Absolutely.
It's like, I'm a snitch and I love to snitch on people, so here's my forum for snitching.
Even innocent people that just want to be a part of the conversation are suffering because of Twitter, because Twitter, the whole idea for it just goes against everything that free speech has to offer. Break it down to a few characters, just a few words, and so that makes it, you have to be inflammatory to get any views. You have to be like an outrage machine to be something that people want to engage with. It is the death of public discourse. It's bad for you. And so these people who are mad about Elon Musk, it's like, oh man, Elon Musk is selling me my heroin now. I used to get it from another guy. It's the same thing. It's still heroin.
Well, I think now there's been a big backlash that Twitter's now owned by a white nationalist. So
oh my God,
there's a white nationalist,
an African American white nationalist,
and now it's only going to be it's going to be a bunch of white nationalists, and they're gonna be hate bombing all of our tweets. I don't know if that's the correct term for what you do on Twitter, hate bombing.
It's
but
all going to be
I'm
white nationalists. It's so weird that the left has such a problem with Elon Musk. Like, Elon Musk has done more. Like, doesn't the left care about climate change? Isn't that their like really big like number one thing is climate change? Elon Musk has done more to combat climate change than any of these blue-haired bitches in their fat fucking lives. None of these pigs have done a single thing.
Have invented an electric car?
Yes, absolutely. He has done more to combat climate change than a single person complaining about him. So shut up. It's Twitter. It's bad for you. Heat the spoon, put it in the spoon, heat it up, put it in a needle, put it in your arm, and get that yummy juice in there. Who cares who owns it? Right?
I mean...
Who cares who's selling it to you? Who cares who owns it? Get it in your system.
I care.
Put it in your bloodstream and get high.
I will only put it in my bloodstream if it's sourced from a woman of color from the Shmooly tribe in Indonesia.
Twitter should be owned by indigenous people. Like, who owned Twitter before? Not Jack Dorsey didn't own Twitter. He was like, I mean, he was a big like shareholder in it, but it's owned by a bunch of shareholders and stuff.
I thought Jack Dorsey was the former CEO of Twitter, and they had a new guy.
A new guy? Was he indigenous? Did he have a nose ring? Yes or no? Did he have?
Did he Two-Spirit?
Yeah. Did he have neck chains to raise his neck up like an Aboriginal person? Yes or no?
Well, I feel like Brian Stelter's just and the people on this panel, they're just people who have never been to a party.
Yeah.
And they're just like, yo, we didn't want to go anyway.
No, look at his face right now. You tell me that's a man that's never been to a party?
That's a man who's going.
I got a plenty of parties.
That's a man who every party he's went to, his mom has also been there.
He calls his mom to come pick him up. He's like, they're not following the rules here.
Mom, they're not following the rules. The party had no rules.
I got to the party, and the first thing they said was, no rules. Please come take me home.
And I was like, it was scary.
It was scary, and they made me break the rules. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I didn't want to go to your stupid party. It sounds like totally lame anyway. Like, no rules. Like, what is this? Like, oh, you guys are having fun. Like, that's so like last year. Like, you don't even get it.
I didn't even want to go to that party anyway because they were breaking the rules. Brian Stelter is such an Eric Cartman. He really is. I didn't want to go to. No, that doesn't make sense because they didn't follow the rules.
And really, what they're complaining is Twitter should the rules should just be whatever I want them to be. And if you change them to what I want them to be, then you're wrong. And the rules are wrong.
Well, then I've also seen people on the left starting to say, like, this is the beginning. Everything that's left-leaning is going to get censored from Twitter now. And it's like the guy bought it for, like, freedom of speech. Like, the guy bought it specifically because you're kicking everyone out.
Yeah, they're gonna be real shocked when none of their tweets get censored, and they're like, "This white nationalist is allowing me to have a voice on a public forum."
Yeah.
Compute.
He's not even kicking anyone out. I don't get it.
There's no rules.
There's no rules. I don't get it. He hasn't even kicked anyone out yet. That's the whole point. This is the thing with, like, I mean, this is definitely the thing that drove me away from ever wanting to be on the left ever again. And, like, having most of my friends be on the left. The biggest thing is they take so much pleasure in kicking you out of the fucking party. That is their number one favorite thing to do. And that's what's being threatened here, too. It's like, you're taking away our power to kick people out of the party. This is an exclusive party. Everyone here agrees with what we say. And if they don't, we kick them out. And also, the bar, always changing. So you better keep up.
Yeah. They're all a bunch of members-only jacket wearing.
Absolutely.
Snooty patooties.
Losers. 100%. Because they haven't been kicked out. You know who gets kicked out of a party? The coolest guy at a party. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, the guy breaking all the rules.
Abso-fucking-lutely. If you're out there and you're listening, go to a party and break the rules for once and see how fucking fun it is.
Like, take your whoever invited you over, take the host's, like, grab their most expensive item in their house and just smash it.
Yes.
Stomp on it.
The next time you're at an expensive dinner party, pull your pants down
and take a shit on the table.
Spread your cheeks and take a hefty shit. Ugh. Okay, if you want to have fun, break the rules.
Light stuff on fire.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Anyway, if any of you nerds have a problem with me saying Twitter's for losers, I'll give you a freaking swirly. So,
I'll wedge you so hard your underwear will be like fused with your own butt crack. Like you'll be splitting two logs every time you try and pinch off one.
This is a threat. I will wet willy you.
I have to say, what I said just a minute ago might be the grossest thing I've said yet.
Absolutely.
I apologize. I apologize. This is where I feel like...
Hey, there's no rules. Don't apologize. There's no rules on this podcast because we're a cool podcast.
Honestly, I wish Brian Stelter had been here to enforce the rule that was going too far.
I think that went a little too far. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Well, that was what I really had to say about that. I'm kind of curious when he said, "Am I crazy?" and he said, "No." What does he say next after this? I'm just curious.
But what happens to the advertising? I mean, if there's no moderation or little moderation, do the advertisers stay away? What does that do to the business prospects for Twitter itself?
I think that's very much look.
Yeah, like who would want to invest in a website that's fucking awesome and lets everyone in? And has no rules. That doesn't sound cool at all.
It's also like if the advertisers don't like being on Twitter, there's plenty of other places that they can go.
Yeah. It's just weird because, like, he wants to make it into this public space for everyone to have free speech.
Also,
but I'm worried about the corporations.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Like, isn't the left supposed to be like anti-corporation?
Yeah.
Anti-big business? And now all of a sudden it's like,
what's going to happen to these poor companies?
what's going to happen to the poor little advertisers? They're going to be out on the streets begging for tuppence.
The poor advertisers. What's going to happen to them?
Papa, what's going to happen to the advertisers?
The advertisers going to be out there. They're going to go, more, please. And Twitter's going to go, more?
They're just going to end up as little gutter snipes in the street. Oh, those poor little advertisers.
They won't even be following the rules, neither.
All alone in the world with nobody to fend for them. Hey. Like, I think they need to pull their heads out their butts and realize how stupid they sound.
Really, this is the long and short of it. If somebody is going to buy Twitter and say, my goal for this thing is to allow everyone to speak freely and give everyone equal access to this product. Mm-hmm. Basically, preaching equity. One might say, well, equality. Equity is a little more like everybody's outcome has to be the same. So basically preaching equality. Mm-hmm. If you're the people that go, boo, how do you like...
How do you not have cognitive dissonance?
Yeah. How do you not realize that you're on the wrong side of history here? No, some people should not have the right to speak. It's like, you fucking idiot. If those people existed in the 60s, they would be the ones trying to shut down freedom of speech for gay protesters. 100%. Even if you're gay. Even if you're currently gay, if you're saying that some people should have an opinion and some people shouldn't, you would be the person taking away the freedom of speech from gay protesters. 100%. Because that person is all about go with the status quo, don't stick out, don't piss people off, and guess what? Gay protesters pissed people off, and that's why we have gay marriage now, because they had the freedom of speech to say we have the right to get married and we have the right to be seen as other human beings. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And some people wanted to shut that down, and that's incorrect. Anybody else, everybody has freedom of speech. The good and the bad. That's the long and short of it. If you oppose that,
a loser.
You're a loser.
You're a loser, correct. And you're not getting invited to the parties.
I can't get my heroin anymore from my regular dealer. Elon Musk sells my heroin now. It sucks. It's just so weird because this thing is so bad for you. Like, Twitter, if you're, like, obsessed, imagine caring about this. Like, I'm pretty heated about it because I think it's stupid, but I'm not going to sign up for Twitter after this. I didn't have a Twitter before this, and I won't after. I could give a shit what happens on Twitter because if I started a Twitter, it would slowly rot my mind. And so if you have enough time to worry about who owns Twitter, oh, a billionaire owns this huge multi-billion-dollar company now. It's like, who gives a shit? Like I said, heat it up in the spoon, put it in the syringe, stick it in your arm, and let the good times roll. And shut your mouth.
Look, you were allowed to fart all over Twitter before. You'll be allowed to fart all over it after.
Oh, man. He took my permission to fart. I used to fart on Twitter all the time. Then he took it away. Oh, boy. Well,
that should be Twitter's new slogan. Twitter, keep on farting.
Wow. Let's do this. Fuck, marry, kill. Brian Stelter, Rachel Maddow, and name one more.
You gotta name it. This was your...
Anderson Cooper.
Well, no contest here.
Really?
Oh yeah, I would marry Brian Stelter.
And at your wedding, and your every wedding photo, he's.
Yep, and then I would.
You're gonna have a lot of rules at your wedding. This wouldn't be fun unless we have several rules.
Oh, don't worry. And then I would also fuck Brian Stelter.
Oh my God! You're breaking the rules, huh?
Mm-hmm. I would.
It's gonna piss Brian Stelter off. You're breaking the rules here.
Exactly.
And then you.
And then I would kill him.
Brian Stelter.
And I would invite Rachel Maddow and Anderson Cooper over to watch, and I'd say, that's what happens to people who like the rules.
All right. I would marry Brian Stelter only because I know that he's going to give me content for the rest of my life. I could just start a podcast. All I have to do is record everything he says, and then I have content for a podcast forever. I could start my own Libs of TikTok account. I could do a Brian Stelter of TikTok. Just him in private, the shit he says in private. So I would marry Brian Stelter. I'd fuck Anderson Cooper because I know he knows how to work a dick, right? I mean, he's experienced in dick, so he can work a dick.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he starts talking politics, I'd be like, hey, shush it. Shush it, Cooper. Shush it, Cooper. Get back to the tick. And then I guess I'd have to kill Rachel Maddow. Sorry. It's just that's where she fell in the lineup. But no particular reason. I would also fuck and marry Rachel Maddow. I'm pretty impartial on Rachel Maddow. I guess I'll kill her. Oh, my God. Well, this isn't the only really big thing happening, in the news lately. The other big thing is Amber Turd. That's Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. A lot of funny stuff has come out of this, like the videos of their the courtroom, their trial and their questioning and all that stuff. There was one. He said they asked Johnny Depp, like, would you consider yourself physically bigger than Amber Heard? And he goes, well, I wouldn't say that. And then he gets this little smirk.
Oh, that had to sting a little. Because she also can't make any sort of emotional faces. She has to kind of take it with a
she does.
Take it with a straight face.
And when she gets home, she'll shit in his bed. So we talked about this so long ago because this has been a thing for years now. Because originally Amber Heard had a Me Too thing against Johnny Depp because he was abusive in their relationship. That was the thing. Yeah. And then he lost a bunch of opportunities. He lost Pirates of the Caribbean, all that stuff. And now he's suing her for defamation and for defecation.
This is a defecation lawsuit.
Oh my God. Has that joke been made? It has to have been made. They're in a defamation lawsuit and she talks about pooping in his bed.
Actually,
if nobody has made the defecation lawsuit joke yet.
I don't know if people have made it in reference to this
let's
incident.
Be honest. Probably Colbert and all of those guys all on the same night made the exact same joke.
Oh, well, I just know that not in reference to this story, but South Park did have, that was what Mr. Hankey when he had his lawsuit for the Ambien stuff.
I'm suing you for defecation.
You're going to help me with my defecation lawsuit, Cal.
That's right. That's good. Everyone go watch South Park.
South
it's such
Park.
a good show.
South Park, endorsed by Working Crass Podcast, because they could use our bump. They could use the Working Crass bump.
Yeah, I guess so. They're not already the biggest show. Working Crass could use the South Park bump.
That's really what we are. We're a South Park fandom. So if you want,
Ooh, I wonder if we get more views if we just labeled ourselves a South Park fan podcast. leave a comment if you want to see us just become a South Park fan podcast, and then every day we'll just like react to a new episode of South Park.
Yeah, leave a Heidi Ho in the comments.
Leave a howdy ho
or a okay.
Okay.
This is just gonna
Devolve into me trying to do all the voices.
Yeah,
that's funny. Amber Heard's bad. Okay. Pooping in the bed. That's bad. You don't want to poop in the bed. Okay. A poop in the bed is a magical thing, especially on Christmas. Can't get mad at a poop in the bed on Christmas. Oh boy. Okay, so yeah, we saw this years ago because there was this tape of Amber Heard and Johnny Depp that was released where they were like fighting with each other, and it became very obvious that Amber Heard is the crazy one in this situation, because her whole thing was like she was like beating him and hitting him and be like, oh, it doesn't hurt you, like, oh, I can beat you, and
well, she was like, I didn't punch you, I hit you, there's a difference.
Yeah, and he would be like, there's no difference, I'm hurt. Like, I don't hit you. And I don't know, I remember there was a time when some of the evidence would go in and out of like, well, it seems like they're both just abusive to each other. Like, these are just two crazy people. But the more that comes out, seems like Amber Heard's really coming out on the crazy level here.
Like, where does pooping in somebody's bed fall on the crazy scale?
Oh, man. I mean, personally, I would say 0, okay? Because I mean, pooping in the bed, I mean, how much more fun could you have? I love laying in a comfy bed, and I love pooping. Laying in a comfy bed, fun. Taking a big old poop, fun.
Okay, new parameter. Pooping in somebody's bed out of spite. Where does that fall on the crazy scale?
Well, where does it land on the fun scale? 110%. It breaks every rule. But on the like out of like spite for someone shitting in their bed, I mean, that's pretty heinous. That's heinous anus. Now that's a famous anus cookie.
Before the podcast, we were talking about the word anus versus the word what was the one? Tuchus, which was funnier, and I happen to believe
say
that
tuchus again.
Tuchus.
You say it so Jewy. Tuchus.
Tuchus. Ka-ching.
you make $5 every time you say tuchus. Tuchus. Ka-ching, ka-ching.
Anyway, no, I happen to believe that anus was a funnier word, and I said, because it makes me think of those cookies. Famous anus.
Famous anus. It tastes like they smell. Bad. Oh my God.
Anyway, back to Amber Heard.
Oh my God. So I guess a security guard. So when she pooped in the bed, he was not in the bed or anything. He had a security guard send him a photo and said, "I think Amber Heard shit. I think your wife shit in the bed." And he even says, "My initial response to that was I laughed." He says, "It was so bizarre and grotesque that I could only laugh. I did not go down there that day." And I remember, I don't know if it's in here too. Yes. A Of course, those photos were entered into evidence yesterday for all to see. In fact, Depp was cross-examined about them, with lawyers for her doubting the poop's provenance, but positing that his 2 dogs, Pistol and Boo, could have made the apparently large deposit. His response, "They're teacup Yorkies," Depp countered. "They weigh about 4 pounds each. It was not the dogs." Basically, that was a 10-pound dump. That was not... They're little tiny Yorkies. They weigh about 4 pounds each.
Look,
this dump was big un.
Yeah, a dog owner knows their dog's own turds.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you know the size of your dog's turds. You know the consistency.
It's just the way that he describes the dogs as small that implies this poop was big. Right?
Well, I hear Amber Heard eats a lot of roughage, so she's a very high fiber diet.
Oh my God.
I really hope they analyzed that poop and they found just what they found inside Charlie Kelly's poop in the bed. And
what was it? Like plastic?
It was a piece of a credit card, wolf hair. I forget the other thing, but that would make me really laugh. And I would believe that Amber Heard would, like, out of spite, eat one of his credit cards and like fill up on wolf hair. Just I don't know why, but
Absolutely.
I feel like a crazy person would do that.
Absolutely. If you want us to become a It's Always Sunny podcast, an It's Always Sunny fan podcast,
well, guess
leave
what?
us a comment.
It's Always Sunny is about to get the Working Crass bump. We gave it to South Park, and now we're giving it to Sunny.
Well, unfortunately, I can't do any It's Always Sunny voices.
You could do Frank.
I don't know if I could do Frank. I think
you can do Frank.
You gotta pay the troll toll. That's all I could do.
No, you can say it when he says whores. You say it.
Oh,
perfectly.
I do love when he goes, whores. Gotta go talk to some whores. We are literally a Always Sunny fan podcast. Okay. Am I wrong though that what he's implying here when they said maybe the dogs took the shit in the bed, and he says they're teacup Yorkies, they weigh about 4 pounds each, it was not the dogs. What he's saying is that's a big old dump, right? That's what he's saying. It couldn't be the dogs because of the size of that large poo poo.
Yes, that's exactly what he was saying, because her lawyers were trying to pin it on the dogs.
That is crazy. That is crazy. Imagine being that lawyer and trying to pin it on the dogs and being like, inside, you're like, I know she did it.
Be like, now, people of the jury, this tiny 4-pound teacup Yorkie, by looking at it, you might not think it could produce a dump of monstrous size.
I present to you Exhibit A. A giant doo-doo. I'm going to now ask the jury to sniff this doo-doo. I want to ask the jury, is it possible that this doo-doo could have come from 2 small Yorkies? Just based on size and smell alone. Oh, God. That's wild.
Yeah.
This is very interesting watching them. But I
hope that jury was, people on that jury were like, please do not send us photo evidence.
Yeah. Please don't have photo evidence. Please don't have photo evidence.
We do not want to see that.
Please take a look at the photo number 1.
Except for one guy, one creep on the.
Please have photo evidence. Please have photo evidence. Oh God, please have photo evidence. Yes. I really hope they have a photo evidence of this. Yes.
I hope it's scratch and snuff. Yes.
I hope they let us take a whiff. Yes.
Honestly, I don't even know if there is a jury, because this is like,
yeah.
This might be a closed hearing or something. I don't really know.
Wow.
I haven't been keeping up with everything. I just see clips here and there.
Let's look. I mean, it really says something that our two biggest stories right now are like Elon Musk buys a website and
Elon Musk buys website. Meanwhile, famous actress poops in a bed.
Yeah. Wife of Jack Sparrow poops in bed, and the bed's not even on a pirate ship.
It brings a whole new meaning to the term black pearl.
Oh my God. There's the black pearl I've been looking for. That's hilarious. Holy moly. Well, cool. Not going to top that. Let's move on. I think, do we want to do this marijuana story or do we want to do this reject masculinity story? What do you think, Lauren?
I mean,
we'll do whichever one we don't do, we'll do next week. I guess we missed 420. We should try to make up for it with this story, right?
Yeah. Belated 420 should be celebrated with a marijuana story.
Absolutely. So, sorry that we didn't. I guess we missed 420. Or talking about it on our podcast, but here it is for you. Lawmakers strike the word marijuana from all state laws, calling the term racist.
And really, we missed 420 because we decided that was also racist.
It is racist. And
we here at Working Crass Podcast, we're anti-racists.
I want to be an anti-racist. I don't want to be a racist. I don't want anyone to think I'm racist.
And I don't want to be not racist. I want to be anti-racist.
Because that's the thing, is what I've been told is if I'm just simply not racist, I'm still racist. The only way to not be racist is to be actively anti-racist. So I have to spend my whole life. I wanted a job. I wanted a career. They said, nope, that's racist. What you need to do is commit your time and your energy into anti-racist activism.
Mm-hmm. And there's one thing you should know about anti-racist ideology, and that the core tenet is to be racist in the approved manner.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that.
I believe that's what's in the literature.
Yeah. All of these things always do come down to actually like a bit of racism. Like,
yes.
And so like, for example, I haven't read this article yet, so don't fault me on that. But I guarantee this kind of goes into, well, why are you banning the word marijuana? Well, because you know how black people are always, smoking on the marijuana. It's like, it's offensive because it implies that, black people are always smoking marijuana, and they are. It's like, what are you getting at here? What if marijuana has nothing to do with black people? Regardless. Now, here's where I'm sure it goes. It goes into like, the whole marijuana scare, the whole, what was that movie that they made?
In the 30s?
Reefer Madness. Yeah. And all of that stuff was like kind of based in racism as well. And there's definitely a lot of evidence to the fact. But the word marijuana means marijuana. It means cannabis. It means like the actual, like no one was.
Well, I thought the word marijuana just meant Mary Jane.
Yeah, it does mean Mary Jane. That is true. Well, let's see what they say. I'm going to stop trying to guess what they're going to say. Pot, weed, grass, Mary Jane, flower. There is no shortage of terms to describe cannabis. However, Washington State is taking one word officially off the table, marijuana. Which, oh God, this is just another one of those articles is like, another word you can't say. Here's the new word you can't say. Brian Stelter's like, a new rule? I love the rules.
And then he came in his pants.
Yeah. I'm just so happy. Legislators recently passed a law that changes every revised code of Washington with the word marijuana. The change gets rid of the term, swapping it out for the word cannabis. Supporters say the word marijuana has a long history of racism. The term marijuana itself is pejorative and racist. Okay, see, this sentence, This makes you look stupid. The term marijuana itself is pejorative and racist. Is it?
I would say, how?
How?
How so?
How?
So?
How? As the history of the word, which originates from Spanish, the most racist race. As recreational marijuana use became more popular, it was negatively associated with Mexican immigrants, Morgan said. I never associated marijuana with Mexican immigrants. I mean, sure, the word marijuana originates from Spanish and like it's pretty clear, but I didn't every time I say marijuana, I don't go, that dirty marijuana. Stay out of my country, you marijuana. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Even though it seems simple because it's just one word. Every article we read, Lauren, always does this. Even though what we're saying makes no fucking sense, I'm saying it anyway. Right? That's what this is. Even though at first glance, using this word might seem harmless, I'm telling you, it hurts. It's so stupid. Even though it seems simple because it's just one word, the reality is we're healing the wrongs that were committed against black and brown people around cannabis. Like, the word marijuana described... by this logic, isn't it also racist to say the word cannabis? Isn't it also racist to just refer to the plant in general?
I'm just a little confused because... if I didn't speak English and I only spoke Spanish and I wanted to, to smoke a little wacky grass, as the kids say, as Brian Stelter would say, wouldn't I ask for marijuana?
Yeah, absolutely. And then you would.
So are they not going to allow them to speak Spanish?
No, Lauren, are you kidding? Allowing a Mexican to speak is racist.
Oh, okay. Now that makes sense to me. Now that you've clarified it, it makes sense.
She says for people of color in the industry, the word marijuana comes with a burden. It had been talked about for a long time in our community about how that word demonizes the cannabis plant. You know what? I'm sorry. I have parents that I'm pretty sure would be very against pot and like me smoking pot. And when they talk about weed smokers, when they talk about pot smokers, by the way, I also know we're from Texas and I grew up in Texas and I went to college in East Texas, Nacogdoches, Texas, very close to Vidor, Texas. And if you want to know about true racism, just Google Vidor, Texas. And some of the first things that'll pop up, you won't like. Look, I've definitely seen people use pot as like a racist kind of like, oh yeah, that's what, black and brown people, that's they all love pot, weed. They never say the word marijuana for it. It's pot, weed, grass. Those are like way more pejoratively used. Way more often. Rednecks can't even pronounce the word marijuana. They go, marijuana. They do. Pot is the pejorative way of saying it. Oh, he was down there at the mall. He was smoking pot. Ugh. Literally, the word marijuana was never used in a pejorative way. Pot and grass and all that, that's what's used. Even cops. I've been pulled over by cops. Like, I've been in trouble with cops for smoking weed. They always, when they talk like negatively about weed, it's always that pot. Because pot sounds worse than marijuana. Marijuana sounds like the word for the plant. It's not that bad.
Well, I think...
Am I wrong about that? Do you hear a lot of people using the word marijuana in a pejorative way?
Yeah, I'm like, ew, those marijuanas. Gross.
See, I
No, and I actually don't hear pot a lot. At least
you hear pothead.
I guess
pothead, stoner, like those at least you have a little more of an argument because those are names people call people, pothead and stoner
he's on dope.
Dope. Dope is a huge one.
In the South specifically.
Yes, in the South specifically. And they're holding, don't be a dope, don't smoke dope. You know, they labeled it because dope for a reason, because they're calling you a dope for smoking weed. Yet for some reason the word marijuana is the bad word here.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I guess, like, sure, some of those words could have like a negative connotation to them, but I still don't think any are outwardly racist terms. They're only racist if you're implying they are associated with a specific race, and the only person who seems to be implying that is the people who wrote this article and the person who proposed that bill.
Absolutely.
It's just weird. Also, what does it do for anybody? Because I guarantee that is not going to go out of people's lexicons. Like, people are still going to use marijuana. Like, they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop using the word, and they're also not going to stop using the weed.
That's correct.
Like, I don't see how that solves anything. I don't see how that like wipes the slate clean to provide, because they're saying this is going to provide much needed healing, because all these people were wrongfully sentenced because they had harsh sentences for essentially low level drug crimes, and now marijuana is legal in most places. And so we feel bad for having locked away all these people and incarcerated them. But how does removing that word heal the pain of their incarceration? It does absolutely
here's an
nothing.
Here's an idea to help the people who were incarcerated. Let them out! There really are some places, some states where they have not released. There are people still in prison from marijuana possession.
Yeah, and if there's
and I guarantee that the person sitting in prison right now for that charge isn't going, God, I wish they'd stop using the word marijuana. No, they're going, get me out of here.
Yeah, they're going, get me out of here. Also, if there's anybody that should be entitled to say it, it should be the people who use it.
Yeah, absolutely. Get me out of this jail. There's no rules here, and I need rules. That's Brian Stelter in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, actually, there's a lot of rules in jail.
It's like, no, okay.
Right?
Well, yes, but the whole point of jail is a group of people who didn't follow the rules. I mean, yes, there's rules in jail.
I think Brian Stelter would be like, finally, I'm at peace.
Yeah. No, he would be amongst rule breakers, which he does not like. Correct?
It would be. He would feel very conflicted because he would be surrounded by rule breakers, but yet faced with a bunch of rules.
I don't like it. God damn.
This is just, to me, stupid, a waste of time, and also like it just points to the fact that the people who write this are the people who need to like think about their own biases. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so here's Harry Anslinger, the first commissioner of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, which later became the Drug Enforcement Administration, the DEA, played a big role in the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937, which banned selling or possessing weed. Okay, and he even said, marijuana is the most violent causing drug in the history of mankind, and most marijuana users are Negroes, Hispanic, Caribbean, and entertainers. Their satanic music, jazz, and swing results from marijuana usage. Okay, the word marijuana is not the most offensive part of that statement. Am I wrong? Like, who reads this? This clearly, clearly outdated, pretty racist opinion here. What are you thinking? What is there to possibly think about this? What? No. There's nothing to think about here. There's nothing. Clearly, the wrong thing to say, a stupid thing to outlaw weed for this fucking reason, which is stupid. It causes their music to swing. Oh no! And it's just like, yeah, what the people who are using this stuff are entertainers. They have satanic music. I mean, this is just the kind of shit that's like stupid, outdated evangelical garbage. And to say that the word marijuana is the offensive part of this, no, absolutely not. The word marijuana is just referring to the fucking plant itself.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, I thought marijuana was the actual word for it. I guess it's cannabis. But I thought marijuana was the official term for the plant.
Yeah, you're asking the wrong person.
Yeah, I should know. I'm the stoner here.
Yeah.
Why don't you like weed? Why can you? It makes you
feel paranoid.
Makes you feel paranoid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think instead of marijuana, Joshua, we should try and be good anti-racists here.
We should use the N-word. You're right.
I believe people of marijuana.
People of marijuana. That's much better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of colored people, you say people of color.
Right.
And people of marijuana.
People of marijuana.
That's right.
Or plants of marijuana.
Look, I think if we want to make things better, we just replace the word marijuana with the N-word, okay? Now, hear me out. Elon Musk owns Twitter now, so we're allowed to. There's no rules. Okay? There's no more rules, so we're allowed to use... I don't know if you know this or not, but as soon as Elon Musk bought Twitter, we're allowed to say the N-word now. Oh, God. No, we're not allowed to say the N-word. Well, we are allowed, but we choose not to. Everyone's allowed. It's just not a good idea. Oh, my God. Do you want to leave it on a high? We went through a lot of things here, and we went for a while, too.
Yeah.
Yeah? Sweet. What did you learn today? I learned a lot. I
learned that...
Oh, was that a pun? Because we're reading about marijuana. I said you want to go out on a high.
That is fun.
Well, kill me. Fucking kill me.
I thought you said we learned a pot today. Instead of learned
Kill
a lot.
us both. Kill us both. No, what did you learn?
I learned that that Brian Stelter, if you break the rules,
mm-hmm.
he will come over to your house,
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and he'll invite Amber Heard over.
Oh, yeah.
And both of them will poop in your bed.
Absolutely.
That's what I learned today.
And what I learned today is if they poop in your bed, it's a Christmas miracle. One to be astounded by, especially if it's my son Cornwallis.
And a marijuana to all, and to all a good night.
All a good night. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.